Advaita Vedanta, we love it.
Ishvara anugraha deva pumsam Advaita vasana. If you love Advaita, if you like Advaita, he said it's a special grace of Ishvara. The technology of spirituality is that you must start with the particular, then universalize. Particular day, particular place, particular object, and then universalize. Sri Ramakrishna was once asked by Hari Maharaj that this tumor you have in you're dying as cancer. Do you feel it? Do you actually feel it? And Sri Ramakrishna said something very interesting. He said, what kind of talk is that? In Bengali, Sharir ki sadhu hai, mon hi sadhu hai. Does the body become spiritual? The mind becomes spiritual. Bhagavan Buddha said, the nature of suffering is like a man hit by two arrows. The first arrow is what the world throws at you. Minor problems in life, financial problems, relationship problems, all kinds of problems which come in life, challenges, physical, mental, emotional. All those are the first arrow. The second arrow is our reaction to it. Swami Sarvapriyananda Ji, who is the vice president of our order, he said that when you have been given the mantra, you have been given God. It's in a seed form. Yes. Now you must cultivate it. So if you cultivate it, your life will be blessed. There is a saying, boundary between practice and life must be erased. What we are practicing, sitting and meditating, or mindfulness meditation, or whatever it is we are doing, we think it's practice. Now then life will start. No, that boundary you erase. This practice is also that practice. That life is also this life. So, when the practice becomes life itself, then you have succeeded or you have come very close to succeeding. Sri Krishna says, Yasmin sthito dukkhena guruna api na vichalyate. Centered in the divine, in that spiritual reality, the enlightened one will not be shaken by the sorrows which come in life. You have come to a special secret of spirituality that whatever comes will go away. Let it come, let it be, let it go. You stick to your mind.
Pranam Maharaj Ji. Namaste everyone. Today we have with us Revered Swami Sarvapriyananda Ji Maharaj. He is the Minister in charge of Vedanta Society, New York. Welcome Maharaj Ji to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So Maharaj Ji, Advaita Vedanta, we love it. We love it. We try and understand it. And at times we feel that it is so intellectually fascinating. We have heard so many of your lectures. The thing is that we have heard that Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. But when it comes to experience, we feel that I am this body. I am this man. Or someone would say, I am a woman. And then comes up these attachments we have in terms of relationships that we form in the world. And then in terms of the occupations and the titles associated with them. So most of our lives actually revolve around this. Right. So Maharaji, in this particular podcast, we would love to address that one thing is that we understand these philosophies very well. But we feel that when it comes to realizations, is something else only. So Maharaji, let's start from the very core question that what is after all spirituality or being spiritual in true essence? What is the essence of it?
Thank you for that question. Before going there, what is spirituality? What's the essence of spirituality? I'll address what all you said. I listened very carefully to what you said. I'll make some observations about that. So what you said first is that we all love Advaita Vedanta, as you said. And that's really good. That's the important thing. Our understanding of Advaita Vedanta and our realization of Advaita Vedanta will deepen as we go along. But it all depends upon that initial love. We are attracted to it, and therefore we are on this path. Once you're on this path, we will progress. I remember telling a friend of mine, a monk, whom I said, look, when I was a kid, the Swami Vivekananda's complete works were lying around at home, and I liked it. I was reading it. Now I understand that I did not understand anything at that time. But I just liked it, but I was reading it because of that. But how little or almost nothing I understood at that time. Now I'm beginning to understand more. And then he said to me in Hindi, that my friend, the monk, he said, नहीं, वो जो आपको अच्छा लगा था, वही असली बात है.
जी.
That's why you have become a monk today. That's why you're in a spiritual path today. And your understanding of Vivekananda will keep deepening. When you were a little kid, you understood a little bit. Now you understand more. Who is to say that 20 years later, you will not understand more deeply? The initial love is very important. The highest book on Advaita Vedanta, Avadhuta Gita, just like Ashtavakra,
Yes,
uncompromising Advaitic text. The first verse is, Ishvara anugraha deva pumsam Advaita vasana. If you love Advaita, if you like Advaita, he says it's a special grace of Ishvara. So that love of Advaita, what you said at the very beginning, that is very, very crucial. Second, the difference between this intellectual fascination and understanding, again, and realization. Again, the intellectual fascination itself is great. Let us not diminish that. We are fascinated by so many things in the world which are substandard, which are really not at that height of Advaita Vedanta is the highest philosophy. I have, in all my studies in Eastern, Western texts, I have not found anything which comes close to Advaita Vedanta philosophically. In realization, there are paths, like, in Tibetan Buddhism, Dzogchen is there. In Indian philosophies also, many are there. I would say Kashmiri Shaivism, to some extent the yogic samadhis, they all come close to the Advaitic tantric realizations. They come close. There are mystics who have had non-dual experiences in Islam and in Christianity. There are good texts there. But sheer philosophically, nothing comes close. So the intellectual fascination which you have for Advaita, that becomes your doorway to Indian philosophy, the vast treasure of. So again, the second point is, first is love of Advaita Vedanta, second is the intellectual fascination. Both are really good. Both are really good. The difference between this and realization is difference between intellectual fascination, our initial love of Advaita Vedanta, and intellectual fascination and actual realization is like, suppose somebody is singing a wonderful piece in classical Indian music, in Dhrupad, singing a song of devotion to Krishna or to the Devi. And one is, we don't know anything about it, but we like listening to it.
Yes.
So that liking to listening to this classical music is like loving Advaita Vedanta, the first point you made. But suppose you know something about classical music. You know it, the theory behind it. You've studied it. Then your understanding will your appreciation will be deeper. Not just that you like listening to it, you understand what is going on, technicalities. So that is like the intellectual fascination with Advaita Vedanta. But when we can sing and with genuine devotion in our heart, the same piece, then that is like the realization of Advaita Vedanta.
Okay.
With 3 levels.
Yes, Maharaj.
Liking it one, fascination intellectually, technically another thing, but much higher and deeper also is the actual realization of the truth. Now your question was, what is spirituality truly? What can it do for us? So we have to take a step back, not just Advaita Vedanta, but all forms of genuine spirituality in Sanatana Dharma and in all religions of the world. There is genuine spirituality. What it can do for us, what is it and what it can do for us? Bhagavan Buddha was once asked this question. One monk asked him that, I have a question. You taught us that there is suffering in the world. Old age is suffering, disease is suffering, death is suffering. And Buddha said, yes, but what is your question? Well, you taught us there is a way to get out of suffering. And you taught us, we are all following it, what you have taught us. Ashtanga, Marga and all. But we are also getting old.
Yes.
We are getting sick. Some of us have died. And you, Bhagavan Buddha, clearly you have, according to you, you have gone beyond suffering at least. But you are getting old. You are also getting sick sometimes. One day you will also die, unfortunately. Right. So how did you go beyond suffering? If suffering is old age, disease, death, and through the practice of your teachings, we are going to go beyond suffering, and yet we are still getting old, we still get sick, and we are still dying also.
Yes.
Then how? How did this work? What did you teach and how did it work? Bhagavan Buddha said, the nature of suffering is like a man hit by 2 arrows. The first arrow is what the world throws at you. So, old age, disease, death, minor problems in life, financial problems, relationship problems, all kinds of problems which come in life, challenges, physical, mental, emotional, all those are the first arrow. The second arrow is our reaction to it.
Right, yes.
Now, one person may bear the pain with calmness, another person may start screaming and crying. Who is suffering more? The one who is screaming and crying. Doctors, I always give this example. They've seen patients, hundreds of thousands of patients they see throughout their career. They all have seen cases where serious life-threatening conditions are there, but the patient is calm, dignified, controlled.
Minor conditions are there. The patient has a breakdown and becomes inconsolable, depressed. Who is suffering more? The one with serious physical illness or one with the mild physical illness, depending on the reaction to it. Then Bhagavan Buddha said, what I teach you will take care of the second arrow. About the first, I cannot do anything. So life will continue. First, I cannot do anything means life will continue. But by changing the subject, we can deal with the object much better. By changing ourselves, we can deal with the world much better. Sri Ramakrishna was once asked by Hari Maharaj, but this tumor you have you're dying of cancer. Do you feel it? Do you actually feel it? And Sri Ramakrishna said something very interesting. He said, what kind of talk is that? In Bengali, Sharir ki sadhu hai, moni sadhu hai. Does the body become spiritual? The mind becomes spiritual. So body will get old. Body will get disease. Body, if COVID comes, will get sick. If an accident happens, will get hurt.
Yes.
And one day it will become old and it will die. There is nobody in the world who has escaped that. And you cannot. That's the nature of life. But the mind can be spiritualized. What will happen if you spiritualize the mind? In any way, any genuine way, whether by devotion, whether by meditation, by philosophy, knowledge, whatever. What will happen? Then the mind will be able to bear all the problems happily. Sri Krishna says, Yasmin sthito dukkhena guruna apina vichalyate. Centered in which the heaviest of sorrows cannot shake you. Now immediately one must see. Krishna is then admitting that after becoming enlightened also heavy sorrows will come.
Yes.
Dukkhena guruna api. Guru dukkha. Guru means heavy sorrows. But he will not be shaken. Centered in Brahman or Atman or God. In whichever form you want to put it, whichever language. But centered in the divine, in that spiritual reality, the enlightened one will not be shaken. Vichalyate will not be shaken by the sorrows which come in life. This is the role of spirituality. The inner spiritualization, which helps us to overcome sorrow in this life, also to find lasting fulfillment. This is what we want in life.
Yes,
we want to be happy and fulfilled, and in a deep, meaningful way, lasting way. Not that every day again I have to struggle to be fulfilled. Also, we want to overcome all sorrows, challenges, pain. Both of them, spirituality guarantees.
Okay. So, Maharaji, as you said that this is guaranteed, right? So, in our tradition and in other traditions that we have seen, the necessity of a guru, is said that this is very, very important if one wishes to walk on the spiritual path and towards realization. So, Maharaji, apart from these millions of views that you garner on your channel and other people, are the YouTube lectures suffice enough, or do we really need a guru, and as well as the initiation that is given by the guru? Is it really necessary, or will the self-study suffice in some ways?
Okay. Yes, guru is necessary in spiritual life. Swami Brahmananda used to say that even a pickpocket needs a guru to learn how to pickpocket. So for Brahma Jnana, for God realization, you will not need a guru. You will do it by yourself. What is that? Do it yourself. I think DIY or something like that.
Yes.
So will you spirituality like that? No, you need a guru, definitely. This is Brahma Vidya. So you need a good guidance of a guru who will guide us in spiritual life. Now, in Advaita Vedanta especially, guru becomes even more important. Because Advaita Vedanta is a knowledge tradition.
Yes, Maharaj.
As contrasted with the bhakti tradition, as contrasted with mystical tradition, or active tradition of service. Advaita Vedanta by itself is a knowledge tradition. Knowledge is important. Wherever knowledge is important, in the teaching and the text and the teacher, they all become very important. So guru gets additional importance in Advaita Vedanta. Very important in Sanatana Dharma, but in Advaita even more, additional importance. One of the forms in which God is worshipped in Hinduism as the first teacher.
Yes.
Adi Guru. Then yesterday we were studying Parokshanubhuti. Then there it is said, Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaram Ishwaram. So Shri Hari, the Lord Vishnu, who is of the nature of bliss, who is Ishvara, God. Upadeshta is the first teacher, the one who gives spiritual knowledge. Now, who is a guru? So the Taittiriya Upanishad tells us, Shrotriyascha Kamahatascha. This person must be Brahmanishta Shrotriya Akamahata. What does it mean? Centered in Brahman, well versed in the texts, Shrutis, and not damaged or not perverted by desire. So
Okay.
three things. One is, the person must be centered in it. It does not say that the person has to be enlightened, because we never know who is enlightened or not. But is that person's life, what we can observe, is it centered in God? Is it a God? It's not a part-time spirituality.
Yes.
That person's whole life must be spirituality, nothing else. That person must not have any interest in anything else except spiritual life, in whichever tradition. Then next is Shrotriya. A person may be completely devoted to spiritual life, but may not have a grounding in any spiritual tradition. Sometimes they belong to a tradition, but they may not have studied it, mastered it. Sometimes they belong to no spiritual tradition. They say, I have realized God by my own. I don't need any texts or traditions. Well, according to the Upanishad, then such a person cannot be a guru. It may be that the person is actually spiritual. How do we know? A person may be spiritual, maybe spontaneously awakened, or something like that may have happened, but cannot be a guru unless you have something to transmit. So the guru must tell, why not speak from my own experience? Some gurus say, I'm speaking entirely from my own experience. So why not speak from my own experience? No, that the tradition does not accept. The tradition says that you must be able to transmit the tradition. Have you studied that tradition? In Vedanta, of course, Brahma Sutra, Upanishads, Gita, all of these, and transmit it. So you cannot say that I came up, I invented it myself. You may have. It may be true that the person is genuine. Often it is not. Often there is fraud or delusion that I feel I have become enlightened. No. It must match with the Shastras, and the teacher must be well versed in the Shastra. In Advaita Vedanta, it means very specific what the Shastras are, Upanishads and Gita and Brahma Sutra. But I'm interpreting in a general way. Each of the major world religions has spiritual traditions. So each has a tradition of parampara of texts and methods. And then akamahata, very important. The guru may be well learned, but still, if the guru has some other intention, I want to make money, I want power over the shishyas, some kind of exploitation, worldly kind of desires are there, then that person cannot be a guru. Guru must be there only for us, only for enlightenment, for spiritual realization. So this is the importance of the guru in Indian tradition, especially in Advaita Vedanta.
Okay. And Maharaji, once we have a guru, we found, or rather the guru found us, right? So what we have seen in the traditions, the guru gives us a mantra. So Maharaji, how important is it for a genuine spiritual seeker to be initiated in the mantra? And what happens to an individual when he or she receives the mantra on the subtle level?
So mantra diksha is a very common thing. Initiation into a mantra is a very common thing in Hinduism. In our tradition also it's there. Why this is done is, Hinduism consists of a range of paramparas, range of traditions. There are the worshippers of Shiva, worshippers of Vishnu, worshippers of Devi, Ganesha, Kartikeya, Surya Devata. So they are worshippers of God in various, these are not different gods.
Yes.
This is the same God, Saguna Brahman, the ultimate reality with divine attributes. Now, which one will you worship? Will you worship all of them or none of them or something separate from them? No. One of them you will worship. So you will worship maybe Rama or Krishna or Vishnu in some avatar, in some form. And what you will worship and how you will worship will be taught by your guru. The guru will say, this is your Ishta Devata, your desire. So the Ishta Devata is, you know that God appears in endless forms. But one form I must focus on, because my success depends on my concentration.
Yes.
So that focus is made possible by the Ishta Devata. Many other things are there about the Ishta Devata. For example, by being initiated in the mantra of an Ishta Devata, you become part of the wider spiritual family of that Devata. Okay. You will become a person whose Ishta is Vishnu or Krishna, becomes part of the Vaishnava family. Like that, Shakta or Shaiva family. or in the tradition of Ramakrishna Vivekananda, we get the Ishta Mantra and also Ishta Devata.
Yes.
So we become part of the tradition. This is another benefit. Then as our sadhana, practice for God realization.
Yes.
Sri Ramakrishna's very nice parable is there of the man who dug 6 wells, different wells. He's digging for water here, digging for water there, because it's difficult to dig for water. And somebody says, go and try there. He goes away and tries there. At the end of the day, he has dug multiple shallow wells, but nowhere is there water. If he had kept on digging in the first place, he might have found water.
Yes, Maharaj.
So Ishta Devata is like that. Dig your well in one place. So, because all of them are valid, but you have to, all of them are not valid if you keep skipping from one to another. All of them are valid if we give 100% commitment and sacrifice our life for that one particular ideal.
Right.
There are very few like Sri Ramakrishna who can go from one ideal to another and become fully enlightened in that one also. That was a demonstration for humanity.
Yes, Maharaj.
But for us, the mantra and the form of the Ishta Devata is very important. This is the form in which I will worship God. This is the name by which I will call on God.
Okay. And Maharajji, since we are discussing about initiation and mantra, usually it is seen that the Guru tells that how many rounds of japa an individual has to do. Either it's 11 or 16, so and so forth, based on different traditions, etc. Maharajji, what happens is that once we are doing the mantra, right, the mind is like, okay, 11 rounds are done, hush, I am free now. Right? And then suddenly it wishes to go back to the same stuff it was doing. So what is happening in this? Is just that we started cleaning, right, the impressions which were already there. And now we again started watching the same content or useless chit chats here and there. So aren't we putting the same stuff back?
It is true, but it will take time. First and foremost, our duty is not to let go of the Ishta or the Ishta Mantra. Lifelong, doesn't matter what happens in my life, what I see or what I think or hear or do, the Ishta Devata and Mantra must continue. Don't let go.
Yes.
That's first and foremost. Second is to expand that feeling. So before we go into meditation, repeating the mantra, let us approach with a spiritual mind. Let us approach with a clean heart and mind. And then after the meditation is over, do the meditation with full concentration, with full surrender. Right? I'm not bothered about what is happening in the world. Door is shut. Only you, my Lord, and this mantra. Like this, we, as much as possible, you do.
Yes.
And then coming out of it, don't jump out of meditation, get back into the world. Slowly ease your way back into the world. There is a saying, especially this is true of spiritual life, but it's true of any kind of training. The boundary between practice and life must be erased. What we are practicing, sitting and meditating, or mindfulness meditation, or whatever it is we are doing, we think it's practice. Now then life will start. No, that boundary you erase. This practice is also that practice. That life is also this life.
Yes.
So, when the practice becomes life itself, then you have succeeded or you have come very close to succeeding.
Okay. So Maharajji, what I understand is that, so this mantra, should be chanted apart from the fixed hour that we have set.
Certainly.
Because I also saw your video, a clip of which went very viral, in which you were saying that your mantra is the best friend in this world. Done with your things in the world, replace it with the mantra.
Yes.
So it is so important that apart from once we have sat down for the fixed hour, we should keep doing this thing.
Yes, Swami Sarvapriyananda Ji, who was the vice president of our order, he said that when you have been given the mantra, you have been given God. It's in a seed form.
Yes.
Now you must cultivate it. So if you cultivate it, your life will be blessed.
Okay.
There's a song that Ram Prasad, song, that you have, oh mind, you have not learned Krishi Kaj, agriculture.
Yes.
The seed which has been given by the Guru, you must plant it and nourish it, pour the water of the Div Bhakti and fence it around. Like this, if you nourish it, then your field will be full of, of spiritual development, of the fruits of spiritual development. It will come.
Okay. And Maharajji, what happens is that since we live in the householder's life, most of us, so at times we are not able to carry forward the practice at a particular hour. Maybe there are days when we feel a lot of tiredness. Aaj nahi kar. So,
yes. So don't do that aaj nahi karte. Even a minimum practice, keep it alive. Even if it is mechanical. Don't make it mechanical, but sometimes it's not possible. You're too tired, too rushed, not interested at all. Then also force yourself to do a basic minimum. That time, if it becomes mechanical, no harm.
Yes.
Other times when a little more enthusiasm is there, time is there, try to be non-mechanical. Try to make it heartfelt.
Okay. And Maharajji, one thing is that once we are in places, say metro cities here in India, and sometimes we feel a very deep urge to go to holy places like Vrindavan, Varanasi, or Almora, Badrinath, etc. And the kind of vibrations there are, once we sit there and do our practices, suddenly we feel that they work quite fast. They work quite fast, and at times where sadhus have been there in those vibrations. So, what is so great about these places and that all saints try and go there?
Yes, you have come to a special secret of spirituality that, see, it is true that if Brahman is the only reality, then Brahman is everywhere, not just in one or two places. Brahman is all the time, not only on a special time. And Brahman is everybody and everything, not just one thing. However, even if Brahman is everywhere, since until we get that realization, we must see it in some special place. Brahman is in all places.
Yes, Maharaj.
But begin by seeing in one special place. Could be temple, your shrine, or in a holy picture or image, in one place. The same reality everywhere, but you see in one. Start by seeing in one place. Time. So it is true that Brahman is all the time. But special times of the day and special days of the year, some special time is selected. So it could be Brahma Muhurta at 4 a.m. in the morning, or it could be Shivaratri or Ram Navami or Krishna Janmashtami, like that. So special day.
Yes.
And special object. Brahman or God is not an object.
Yes, Maharaj.
And no object is separate from Brahman. However, until we get that realization, we have to take an object. It could be a picture, it could be an image, it could be a symbol. And it is used to settle our mind and focus on it.
Right, right. So that means it's great to go to these places and sit and meditate there.
So that's why we have Tirthasthanas.
Yes, Maharaj.
That's why we have holy days, not holiday, holy days.
Yes.
That's why we have holy objects. But remember, Tirthasthana, but God is everywhere. Holy days, God is all the time. The holy objects, God is everything. But the technology of spirituality is that you must start with the particular, then universalize. Particular day, particular place, particular object, and then universalize.
Okay, okay. And Maharajji, what happens is that once we start doing the mantra, in general, what we see in the mind is that it just throws old memories at times. Initially, we sit, we are calm. Suddenly, within seconds, either old memories come up or something it just brings up some 5-year-old stuff or unnecessary stuff. And then we feel, this is not for us. Mujhse nahi hoga. So in those situations, in that particular situation, what we should do?
Don't worry, whatever has come will go. That memory was not there earlier.
Right.
Suddenly it came up.
Yes.
And now it is troubling you, preventing you from repeating the mantra and meditating. Don't worry, it will go away. So either go on repeating the mantra. If it is impossible, if you're really being troubled, forget it. Then get up, wash your face and go about your work. Come back 15 minutes later, 1 hour later, you will find it's gone. It's fine. If it's not gone today, tomorrow it will be gone.
Yes.
So whatever comes will go away. Let it come, let it be, let it go. You stick to your mantra.
Right.
Don't fail.
Okay. And finally, last question is that, Maharaj, that what should be a kind of a daily schedule or at least a morning schedule that a sadhaka or a spiritual seeker should follow? And how important is morality?
So schedule and morality. Schedule is important because the mind and the body are creature of habit. What we do habitually gathers power.
Yes.
And then effort is less if it's my habit. It's not my habit and every day I have to make an effort. But if it's an habit, it will happen automatically. It will take effort to stop it actually. And if you cannot do it one day, you will feel bad if it's your habit. So aim to make it a habit. What routine should we follow? Generally get up early in the morning, have the same time for the same activities, then study, meditation, japa, then devotional, maybe Even if you don't do individual practice, at least listen to songs or something like that. All this, there must be a time for it in the day. So start with that. Over time, it will become natural. It will permeate all my day's activities. Then the necessary for particular routine is not there. As trainee brahmacharis in the training center in Belur Mutt, we had, I think, 20 or 24 bells in one day.
Okay.
So there's a bell for everything, from getting up to going to sleep also. If you're asleep, you'll be in trouble. If you hear the bell, you'll wake up. What happened? You have to go to sleep now.
Okay.
So bell for study, bell for meditation, bell for manual work, bell for classroom, all of those. Now this is a schedule. And it's good. It trains the body and mind in this rhythm. But afterwards, it should be loosened. You find your own schedule. You find your own routine depending on your work, your commitments, and one's ability to do meditation also.
Yes.
And morality is the bedrock of spirituality. A person can be moral without being particularly spiritual, but cannot be spiritual without being moral. So it's not easy to be moral. Truth, self-control, selflessness. So then what must we do? We must struggle. We must struggle. We realize after some time, jnana, bhakti, dhyana, these are not difficult really. What is difficult is a strongly moral life, to overcome immorality in our lives. So that struggle should continue. As we succeed in that, so our spiritual practices will get illuminated. They'll get new depth, new power, new light.
Okay. So thank you so much, Maharaji,
Thank you
for being a part of our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Maharaji.
Thank you.